Hello, so we're back. Yes, apologies for the break. I've not been feeling the inspiration lately with the colder weather coming in as well, and to be honest with you, been busy with work and not been feeling that inclined really to do much when I get home in the evenings, and been sorting the garage out bit by bit because it was in a right blinking state, like mess. So I finally cleared some space on this workbench and I've dug out the Tilley lamp. I've also dug out all my beach fishing gear. You know, I was talking about that in the last video, if you recall, the beach video. Talking about taking up angling again, sea angling. So yeah, I managed to dig out my beach rods and reels and the tackle box full of gear. I'll be going through that. I no doubt I shall need to buy a new tackle box because the old one's a bit knackered. But anyway, yeah, this is the Tilley lamp. It hasn't been lit for 20 odd years. Basically you fill it with paraffin, fill it up with paraffin. You've got a little pump there, you pump it up to pressure. There's a little preheater thing there, you fill with meths, you light that, it preheats the mantle inside and preheats the vaporizer tube as well. And it's got up to sufficient temperature that you can then turn that on so that it will allow the pressurized paraffin up through the tube, which vaporizes in the tube, hence its name, and produces a fuel vapor that lights more readily and burns much brighter through the mantle inside the lamp. Yeah, but as I say, this one hasn't been lit for 20 years. I did leave it, and I must have left it pressurized because the bottom of the tank has decided to distort and bow out. Now, I'm not happy with using that as it is. It's probably perfectly fine, but as you can see, it's got quite a bulge, particularly there where it's bulged out. You compare this to the second-hand tank that I've just bought, you'll notice they're quite dished, and that is the same. It's the same tank from the same lamp, it's just different colour. The later ones I think were red, and the earlier ones were of gold. Yeah, so yeah, not happy with using that one. This one looks a lot better. I've checked it all over. It looks nice and solid. The seams look all good. So we will whip that one off, put that one on, bung a new mantle in there, oil up and service the pump because it's a bit dry, and we'll get that sorted out. So bung a new mantle in and see if it lights. Watch this space. So we'll do the big Clive style camera from above. I've not got a spudger. Anyway, first job, we'll whip all this apart. Mantle's long gone. There's your bit that the mantle sits over. The fuel goes up inside, vaporizes inside that, produces a nice bright burning vapor and gives you a very good strong light. And this glass globe, handle that very carefully, that could do with cleaning. Get that off very carefully. Oh, that's part of that assembly because the mantle fits on that. That should screw into there. That's your little pot that you fill with meths. So we'll just release. We've obviously released pressure. We took the pump out. We'll service that in a bit. I need to undo the lock ring out with the mole grips. I think that goes that way, I'm not sure. Or does it go that way? Oh, I might have to take the vaporizer tube out first. It's been so long since I took one of these apart, it's hard to remember how they come apart. So very carefully, be careful not to damage it. I might put a cloth around that actually, just so I'm not digging into the metal. Put that bit of cloth around there. Very carefully grip that. There we go. Hopefully, there she goes. That wasn't in very far. So that's that. There we go. That lock ring looks a lot like an old 3/4 conduit lock ring. I'll have to put this back in to give it a bit of leverage. So I've got something to bear against. There you go. And that's tight. There she goes. Right, I'm slacking that nut off. That piece comes away. We'll give that a bit of a clean. Yeah, that is quite a nasty bulge that there. That's obviously, as I say, I've left that pressurised when I shouldn't have done. That's obviously when it's got hot in the summer. It's then expanded and caused more pressure and distorted the tank. So I wonder it didn't rupture it, to be honest with you. Mind you, it might have done, because I say it was empty and I'm fairly sure there was fuel in it last time I checked. But anyway, we have a good replacement tank, so that's nice and clean. Looks good enough. And yeah, we'll get these bits clean and we'll start reassembling. Okay, so we had a little wipe round of the bits and pieces. I'll have a look at the pump, shall we? Now, it's a fairly simple device. You've got a tube, you've got a non-return valve there, and on the end it's a plunger. It's like a formed leather plunger. It's held on by a little nut. You can see this one's dried out, so what we'll do is we'll give that a good squat of oil. I may stick a little drop just in the bottom of the tube, just to lubricate the non-return valve. There we go, let's get that cloth out of the way. Now what we got, how does the non-return valve work? What actually does it? We got a, oh, we got a little, it's like a little rubber cup, right? It obviously got stuck. Let's give that a little clean out. You can see it's got a bit of muck and corrosion in there. That's it. I'll just drop a drop of oil in there. Plonking back on. Wipe. Well, there you go. That's the one. That's what we want. There we go. All on the threads. Plonking back in. So we know that's good. So that should fit in there. It fitted in there earlier. Right. So give these threads a little lubrication. I may drop a little bit of oil just down there, and I think that should be all right. Looking at it, what I might do is I might pop the tube off the valve. Right, so let's just undo this vaporizer tube, have a look at it. So you got a long needle that goes all the way up, the spring on the end, and that's the little pricker on the end that pricks the jet through. I'll just give it a little blow through. Oh, yeah, that's blocked. Give it a swoosh out with some carburetor cleaner. Yeah, that's cleared it. That's cleared it now. So that's all good. So pop him back up the tube. And we'll pop him back on. Actually, I'll make sure that rotates. It does, yes, it moves up and down. That's good. So we'll pop that back on. I might put a... That'll be alright. Just nip it. That'll be fine. Right, there we go. That's that. Put that on a tank. I've got to put the glass protector on. That locking ring back in. What I'll do is I'll line it up correctly. Oh, do that a little bit more. There we go. That's that. That's all lovely. Okay, so we'll drop our jet back in. A dab of oil. Our vaporizing tube. Definitely looks like that's on the her. What happened here? Oh my god! Well, that's not good. That's a bit crap. Yeah, that's completely snapped off. As I wasn't doing anything to harm it. I was literally threading it into here. So whether the thread's wrong or something on it, is what's left of the thread on here. Yeah, that goes in all right. Yeah, look at that, that's fine. It's just that must be weak where it's been threaded. It must have weakened it because that's an aluminium body on it as well, so it's probably weakened the aluminium. So I'll see if I can get hold of another one of them then. Hello, right, so we got our new replacement valve arrived. And we reassembled it. We reassembled it earlier, tried it out, and basically it's leaking. It's leaking out of the pump and it's leaking out of the valve and vaporizer. So we're going to put new seals on. So it's a few days later. I ordered a new seal kit. Came off eBay. £9 for a seal kit. And basically you get a mantle, and you get all the rubber seals plus the leather cup to overhaul the pump and do all the seals on these bits. So let's crack on, shall we? I'll just carefully, very carefully try and extract. There we go. That should unscrew from there. Now in the bottom of this, I think there's normally a spring. Yep, there's a spring. There's a valve cup, and that's, oh yeah, that rubber's hard as nails. Right, so we'll get our seals kit. Should be the right one. There's a square one in here. Is it that one or is it that one? There's two very similar looking ones. I would guess it's probably that one. Well, that is hard as anything. Yeah, these are, yeah, much better. Right, so put that one in. Pop that in there. Might give the filter, oh no, gauze filter's clear. So we'll pop that little gauze filter back in. Tighten him up. And we'll pop a new sealing washer on the bottom. Should be that one. Right, so we've got the new sealing washer in position on there. New cup in that, so that should be good. That valve turns up and down. I don't know whether that's, I think that's just an up and down valve, I think. Right, so we've got the little sealing washer for the vaporizer tube. That should go on there nicely. Lovely job. And I may get some Vaseline just to lubricate and help seal them up a bit better. I'll do that. So we'll pop a little bit of that on. Just helps with the reassembly and helps to lubricate the rubber seals a little bit. Hopefully prevent them from drying and cracking out as well. So that goes onto there. That feels a bit better. Give them a little nip up with the pliers. Be very careful with it not to try not to wring the threads off. That'll do. Now that should go in there. Again, I will put a little bit of Vaseline on the threads, bearing in mind what happened with the last one. Right, that's the old manky. Get rid of that one. That's gone in nicely. So twizzle that round. That's on, that's off, yeah. Right, so we'll carefully turn that, not putting any strain on the valve spindle, or cock spindle as it's technically referred to. Mustn't strain your spindle of your cock. That feels tight enough. Yeah, that's good. Right, now we move on to the pump. I mean, the cup itself was fine, but as we've got one, we might as well replace it. I mean, it looks all right. Give that a little. Good old mole grips. I know I use them too much. There we go. Have that off. Oh, leave that up there. So that's the old cup. It is a bit worn. So we'll put the nice new one on. Put it back together. Trouble is the new one is so tight I can't get the pliers over it now. There we go. That got it. Oh, painful, isn't it? Oh, these floodlights gone out. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So that's that, and I'll get the lubrication on there again. Helps make a good seal. So that's that. God, that is tight. That is tight. There you go. Oh heck. Yeah, that's definitely done it. Right, that's that bit. More than enough. So that seal to the non-return valve seal. So get that out of the way. So you've got just that. That's another one of those. Pop him off. Oh yeah, that one's gone hard. That goes in there. That goes on top. Doing back up. Should hopefully be that. There we go. Right, just got to replace the rubber ring around the pump seal, which is a bugger to get out. Right, worked it out. Yeah, the collar unscrews. There we go. So I should have done that before I did the pump cup. So then that all comes out. So I've probably mullered the thread on there now. Hopefully not. So, new tank seal. The cup back in. Nice and tight. So we'll do him up. There we go. That one back on. That should, in theory, be it. Let's see if it fits. I'll clean that face up around there a little bit as well. That's a little bit grotty. There it sits on the tank. That's better. That looks like a damn good seal to me. We'll try it dry. Again. Yeah, it's hissing. Yeah, that's got it. Alright, release the pressure. Good. Oh yeah, that popped out. When I undid that, that just went. So yeah, that's good. Right, next job. Mantle. No, actually, next job will be glass. No, it won't. Need to put the vaporizer tube preheater on first. Then your glass. Now your mantle. And we'll do brand new mantle to go on there. I have got a spare one, but as this comes as part of the kit, we might as well use it. So we'll carefully extract the mantle from the pack This goes on one particular way. You have a wider end which goes over this bit, and then your narrower end goes over the thinner bit. So carefully, probably wipe the grease off my hands, actually, it's probably a good idea. So that will go over the thick end, we should call it. I'll show you there. There's a little bit, I'm trying to get a tight sock over a swollen ankle. There you go. Oh, go on you go. So that's that end all on. We will then pop that end over there. Be careful not to tear it. Is she on? There she goes, she's on. Right, mantle is in position. Let me slide that carefully over that. A hanging hook on. Right, so now we fill her up with fuel and test her out. Okay, right, so we'll fill the preheater. So I think the best way of filling it, I'll take the glass out. I haven't got any meth, so ethanol will have to do. If I'll take the whole thing off. There we go, do it that way. There we go. Load of ethanol around there. So far so good. Right. Pop the glass back on. Pop the mantle back on. Okay. Okay, so we're ready for the inaugural moment. We have our extinguisher. We have our matches. We've got some long matches. We'll light that at arm's length. So get the preheater lit. Pop that on, and that's just going to burn off the mantle. While that's doing that, while that's preheating the vaporizer tube, we'll just pump it up. Make sure we've got pressure. Okay, we'll let that burn for a bit, let that heat that all up. Right, I've just cracked the valve open, the preheat has now gone out. Ooh, yeah. Right, there we go, pop over a bit. Just starting to light. So you have to be patient with these Tilley lamps because they do take a while to heat up first, so you can get the full brightness out of them. Ooh. Try that, hang on. Right. Just needs to bloom a bit. Obviously it's now sooted the mantle up, so I need to burn the soot off the mantle first before we get it to strike. Not really. There we go. Crank it up a little bit. Okay. A little tiny bit more. Oh, not too much. No, too much fuel. Hey, we got there in the end. Very certain that should burn a bit brighter than that, but let's give it a... There we go, give it the benefit of the doubt. We're kind of getting light from it. There she goes. So there we go. The gentle fug of carbon monoxide sending me off to sleep. Yeah, it's not 100% perfect. I think I definitely need to change the vaporizer tube on it. You can see it's very intermittent. You have to keep twiddling the valve to get any light out of it, and it's a very orange light at that. It should be more white. See, on the lower settings you can get it to glow quite white, but yeah, we'll fiddle around with that a bit more and get a bit better light out of that before we take that fishing. But it's largely overhauled. It works, kind of. Oh, alright, he says just as it goes out. Yeah, there's definitely something not right there. Right, further updates to come. We'll come back to this one. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Catch you on the next one. By Jove, I think we've got it. I think we've got it. Oh. Right, later.